Alright, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this video, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well, teach well, right from the elder apostle on down, okay? Salutations to you, sincere and hopeful elect, okay, all throughout the earth, all throughout the globe, who are pushing this word in sincerity and in faith. So this is a video, first off, inspired through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai as a response to one of the elder brothers out there in Vegas. A very, very, very beautiful lesson with a couple of videos showing that high-ranking members of the military or former high-ranking members of the military speaking about so-called black extraterrestrials. Okay, Lord's word is edifying.
Its on-orbit capabilities from strategic.
Alright, so let's read that. Psalms 103, verse 20. Bless the Lord, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, I believe his commandments. Bless ye the Lord, all ye his hosts, ye ministers of his, that do his pleasures, hearkening unto the voice of his word. So we're listening. Okay, we're listening to what the Lord is putting out there. Psalm 68:17, the chariots of Yahweh Shem Shai are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. So there's that, man. It's an innumerable amount of angels, man.
During his keynote speech at the Space Symposium in Colorado Springs, Colorado, Space Force General Chance Saltzman conveyed a straightforward message that the United States has entered a new era of space activities. In an interview with CNBC following his speech, Saltzman, the second ever Chief of Space Operations for the U.S. Space Force, emphasized that the United States is facing greater threats to its on-orbit capabilities from strategic competitors, with the level of congestion in space rapidly increasing due to a surge in tracked objects, satellite payloads, and launches. In his first broadcast interview since becoming the highest-ranking military official of the U.S. Space Force in November of last year, Saltzman stressed the importance of revising processes and procedures to tackle the evolving challenges in space, CNBC reported. Now, this message arrives at a crucial time when space is rapidly commercializing and geopolitical tensions have escalated, bringing about threats that existed beyond Earth to a domain where rules of engagement remain uncertain. An official
revealed today that the U.S. government is investigating more than 600 potential UFO sightings. CBS's David Martin reports newly declassified video shows one flying object that has experts baffled.
An American military drone conducting surveillance in the Middle East. Suddenly, an unidentified object zips in and out of frame. Slow it down, and it appears to be a metallic sphere. But where it came from and what it was doing remain a mystery to the Pentagon. One of many.
We are tracking over a total of 650 cases.
The head of the Pentagon office investigating UFOs told a Senate subcommittee the sightings are concentrated off the east and west coast of the U.S., in the Middle East, and the South China Sea. Here's a second video. The camera is watching another drone when an oblong object flies past. This time, an infrared sensor was able to get a different view and identify it as a commuter airliner.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on
The Pentagon says there is still no credible evidence any of the unidentified objects came from outer space. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
The hope that you can help get us over. Okay. Hey, those things are real.
Okay, but if there are craft, there are beings.
Okay, people have asked me about, I call them vehicles, okay?
Right.
Now, I did not call them objects. That was too neuter for me.
Okay.
I had a Stanford professor said you ought to call them objects normally. No. They have all of the qualities of a vehicle. They can move. They're just like a missile or anything like that. So that much we can say about them, for sure.
Okay.
So I'm calling it a vehicle.
Okay.
Okay, somebody comes along and says, well, now where would you manufacture one that's 2.5 Earth lengths long? And
shit, that's a good point. Scriptures, speak about that. Basically, some of the chariots being fucking, double the size of the earth. Imagine something the size of a mountain. Okay, something the size of a mountain just fucking floating. Alright, this is what's terrifying now.
That's a hard question to answer. However, if you think of it in terms of its living entity, it's just another kind of thing that we've got in our universe. And it can grow and grow and grow and grow.
Okay, so
it can be an MV and it can itself have life.
Uh-huh. So are you not positing the idea that those vehicles contain, beings who are, maybe like us?
Yeah, I only go along with government images. And if you want to know about people kind of thing, there is the ship that picked up the Voyager capsule at Alameda Naval Shipyard. And they have a picture there of I think it's the Apollo flight that Buzz and Neil were on. But anyway, there is one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off?
Not dark, black.
Black skin?
Really black. Black people getting off.
Ooh, Esau, that's your ass, man. Oh. Alright, you heathens. Okay. Esau, Edom. Alright, you should be terrified, man. That should terrify you. And you already know this chick, she trying to play it off, but she's scared as hell.
So people with dark skin getting off?
Not dark, black.
Black skin?
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
well, what?
I'd say 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
Have you heard about Clark McClellan's statement about that?
Huge cigar-shaped ship appears over the Air Force Base. These cigar-shaped ships were over a mile in length. One of them landed on the airport landing strip area. When it touched the ground, it created an earthquake like about a 3.5 to 4.0. It terrified everybody in the area. The back of this craft opened up, and several hundred young men with huge, heavy weapons came out of two sides of the ship and formed a protection line around the ship. And the people at that Air Force base, the commander, had a meeting with the individuals that were aboard this ship. And this particular race that landed those ships and that are seen in these huge cigar-shaped ships, they are a black race. They look like African Americans.
Let's go.
Shaped ship. They are a black race. They look like African Americans.
So this is Ezekiel 1:5-7. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and every one had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet were like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
They were about 6'4", 6'5", these tight-fitting black leather outfits on, and the weapons that they came out of the ships with, they were huge weapons. And if you've ever seen a race of people that were conquerors, that had never been conquered, they've got this look about them of arrogance. That is exactly what these extraterrestrials had, and they informed these people at this American Air Force base that not only were they from a militaristic society, but they had controlled a large portion of the galaxy that we live in. And this was the statement that Ronald Reagan was making to the United Nations when he said that if all the countries on the planet realized that there was a threat from outer space and from an alien civilization, we would all come together, but he was not allowed to make this statement. What I tell you is true.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
I couldn't help at one point in my discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev, when you stop to think that we're all God's children wherever we may live in the world, I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together.
Second Ezra 13:32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. Right, being taken up. And when all the people heard his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. Revelation 1:7, behold, he cometh with clouds, right? So the chariots, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, Alright, so them same spirits are back. Right, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Let's watch it. Even so, amen. Alright, so everybody's gonna have to bow down, right? Second Ezra 13:3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Yeah, so who's gonna step to the Most High through his Son, man? Nobody. Revelation 12:7-9, it says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So you fucking devils, you're gonna lose. Okay, because why? Because it's written. Okay. I'm just gonna hit a quick precept in the video. Alright, so this is Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll, right? Which was a chariot. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. So coming soon, right? Whether you believe it or not, don't matter. Right? Whether they hear or forbear. Okay? You're going to see thousands of these. Okay? And not just these, you're going to see all sorts of different chariots, right? It says, for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it. Yeah, you fucking devils. Okay? And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Okay, so 2/3 of Israel. Okay, you trusting in your oppressor, your ass gonna get cut off too. Okay, you basically on the side of Esau. Verse 4, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. Alright. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So once these chariots show up, they not, returning back to their place. That's basically, I don't want to keep going too far down. But I saw this video earlier, and it really boosted, really boosted my faith. And I was about to go to sleep because I'm like, man, I'm tired. I'm not gonna make a video or whatnot. And then I saw that the elder Yashwamba, Remnant Saved 144, had put up a video like literally 8 minutes ago. So it's you just get inspired. Like, okay, yeah, I do have a topic that I wanted to go into through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, so check out the the elder brothers page from Vegas, I'll go ahead and which I played the whole video, but I'll see if I can tag his page, so you can so you can go on there and be edified. All right, so with that, Lord's will, you're edified. Call Allah, call Allah, Amla, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Brakah, Kwadash. Double honors once again to the elder apostle, Great Millstone, who rule well, and enough respect to you, sincere brothers out there. All right, you very few sisters, you very, very, very few amount of sisters. All right. Barakat the Yahweh, Barakat the Yahweh Shai, Barakat the Yahweh, Barakat the Yahweh Shai, Barakat the Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Alright, this is your brother Gawar. May Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai have mercy on you, brothers, okay, in your household. We're coming up on the time in which, this curse is going to be going forth over the whole face of the earth, where out here the Lord is pouring out, his spirit through who? Okay, starting off with the other apostles, Great Millstone, and then who is he using? He's using his men. Okay, he's pouring his spirit out, man. Through his men, okay, for us to give out a warning, right? This shit is coming. Okay, shalom.